Hey guys, so last night I went to the movie theaters and saw another double feature. This is becoming the norm, unfortunately, for me. And I didn't post anything last night or do anything last night as far as reviews go because I got home about like 12:30. Like it was pretty late showings I went to, and I had to be at work at 1 in the morning, or not 1 in the morning. Sorry, that would have sucked. Or 8 in the morning, and so I went to bed pretty much right after. Um, I always hate doing that because like the movies are still fresh in your mind when you get home. I usually try to do the reviews, but here I am a day later. The first movie I saw was Now You See Me 2. Now You See Me. I like Now You See Me, the first movie. I thought it was a fun little flick. It was absurd and it was kind of stupid, but it worked for me. I kind of liked it. I thought it was a fine little flick. A little. I kind of liked the little twist here and there, and yeah, it was a little absurd and like yeah, it had some plot holes like the twist did, but some of it made like if you thought about it long enough, it didn't really make much sense. But it was fine for what it was. It was entertaining. It was a popcorn flick. So when I heard they were doing a second one, I was like, all right, there's worse movies to make sequels out of, so why not? I don't really know if there's a reason to make a good enough reason to make a new one, other than it made money, because that's usually the reason why sequels are made. But whatever. Um, yeah, I was like, all right, this should be harmless. Um, and yeah, it was. That's basically all I can say about it. It was harmless. It was absurd. It's just like the first one. It was you could easily pick apart this movie if you want to. You can. Um, but I enjoyed it enough. I was like, whatever. It was a movie like I probably will forget about like a week or so, but it was all right. Like there was stuff that like honestly out of the two movies, this was the most boring. But even I know that sounds like I'm saying it's like a terrible movie, but it was I still kept my attention for somewhat for the most part, but then there was also a lot of dull moments. Um, I like the cast in this movie is just I think that's the big thing that makes this movie keeps this movie together is that the cast in this movie is great. You got Woody Harrelson, who I love to death, who in this one weirdly enough has a twin brother, which is I can only describe as Woody Harrelson dressed up as Daniel Stern from Home Alone. Think, picture that in your head, like with the same hair, same beard. I, seriously, that's the only thing I kept thinking of. I thought it was like Daniel Stern from Home Alone. But it was Woody Harrelson in like makeup and everything else. It looked really weird. That was weird. That was really weird that they just like they I haven't seen the first one in a while. I was like, did they ever mention he had a twin brother? Apparently they did, because it's like this. He's like, you know that twin brother I was telling you about. I'm like, no, I don't remember that. All right. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. I like Mark Ruffalo a lot. I find it a little absurd like at the beginning of the movie, I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that he was still working with the FBI and leader of this I group, or leader of the Four Horsemen, and still hadn't been fucking caught. Although, to this movie's credit, I gave it a pass because about 20 minutes into the movie, he is discovered to be the leader of the Four Horsemen and is caught and everything else. So at least they addressed that. So I'm not gonna give this movie that much of a pass. It was like, come on, really, like seriously, this guy is still working with the FBI. Like I was like, whatever. You got Morgan Freeman's in this. Uh, he has a pivotal enough role. Lizzie Kaplan replaces Ilsa Fisher in this. Because Ilsa Fisher, I was like, what the hell? Why the hell does she not do this? She got pregnant and she couldn't do it, so they replaced her with Lizzie Kaplan. And she just kind of her character's written off by she her relationship with Jesse Eisenberg is not going didn't go well, so she asked for her asked the Eye to not be a part of this group anymore, or something like that. And Lizzie Kaplan is a character that I really wish they would have showed this. They had a really big missed opportunity. There's a whole running joke throughout the beginning when they introduced her characters that instead of she did a magic trick back in the day, she did a magic trick that made her famous where she pulled a hat out of a rabbit. I'm not misspeaking there. Apparently, she pulled a hat out of a rabbit instead of the other way around. And I was like, I kind of want to see that. I was like, they don't show it, and I'm like, that is more makes me really morbidly curious. It really did, and I was kind of disappointed they didn't show that. I was hoping they would, but they didn't. She's fine. I like Lizzie Kaplan now. Um, uh, da, 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 uh, uh, she also has like a little love relationship that's really a relationship with Dave Franco that's barely established, and then at the end of the movie they're kind of together. At the end of the thing, they're like, oh yeah, they were a thing. Like they kind of like have a scene together, and then next thing you know, you're like you completely forget about it. Like the movie completely forgets about it, and then it's brought up again at the end. Of like, oh yeah, that was going on, but whatever. Uh, for a movie that's 2 hours, this movie is very convoluted. It is very convoluted. There's so much going on. Oh yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. I forgot. How could I forget about that? I the Daniel Radcliffe thing. Like Daniel Radcliffe is fine in this movie. He is. But my problem with this movie was that if you heard about this movie and read the plot of this movie like a few years ago, you know the twist about Daniel Radcliffe's character. It's supposed to be a secret in the movie. Like he has like a hidden agenda in this movie. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Let's just say it involves Michael Caine. Uh, if you again, he has some kind of like hidden agenda, and it was spoiled for me years ago, and so there was no like surprise when it was revealed. It's like I already knew that movie. It's like you kind of spoiled that like a few years ago for me. Like I noticed over the last couple months when this movie was coming out, they didn't show that twist. So I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be a surprise," but it really isn't. For some people that didn't know that, they probably it will. I'm kind of being secretive, but they will maybe be taken aback, but I wasn't. Again, like they said, they spoiled it for me, fuckers. Um, and like there was like no point at no point in this movie after you've seen the first one where you kind of go like they're in danger at the end of the movie, like of being caught, and like that maybe the bad guys, got them in a position where they can't get out of them. Like the whole time, I'm like, I watched the first one. I know they got something up their sleeve, and what a shock they did. And it is really absurd. And like there are parts of that like explanation that they like involves a plane getting a plane in the middle of the ocean, not the ocean, but like the middle of like a big area of water. I'm like, how the fuck did they do that? Like I was like, how did that happen? There was parts of like that needs to be explained a little bit more. Like I said, I forget some of the plot holes. The one plot hole that made really no sense to me was the twist at the end. There's another. They throw like a million twists at this movie, and one of them was I can think. It's been like I said, this movie's kind of forgettable. That I kind of forgot a lot of them. I have to. God damn. But there was one where at the end of the movie, it's revealed something is revealed about Morgan Freeman, and it's like really that just felt like that came out of nowhere, and it does. It really does. Honestly, I'm not gonna reveal what, but there's a twist about him, and you're like, that makes no sense, really, if you sit there and think about it. um, Again, it's one of those, if you sit there and think about a lot of the twists, and even in the first one, it makes no sense. But like, if there's anything if there's I do like I do like that is one of the things I do like about this movie is that even though it's absurd and a lot of it makes no sense, I like some of the explanations they come up with, like how they pull stuff off, like how the fuck that really absurd part where they go they're on the top of a roof. You've probably seen this in the trailer. They go on top of a roof and they go through a tube that is leading from the roof to like the ground uh, of this building, and when they come out of the tube, they land in China. They're like, what the fuck? Like, and the explanation of how they pulled that off is like, okay, that is really so stupid, but I kind of like it. I was like, at least they can come up with something. Like, at least they try to explain it. Like, they don't just like, ooh, magic. They actually show you like what is going on, and, like how they actually pulled it off. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. Um, there was one scene I really liked was that scene where they're in that getting that chip from that computer. The whole point, Daniel Radcliffe wants them to steal this chip from this computer, and like this high tech computer. And the scene where they try to pass it from one another, like they put it like attach this chip to like a playing card and they toss it to one another. That was a pretty cool inventive scene. I actually kind of dug that. That was actually probably the best scene in the whole movie. I honestly give that movie props. Um, if you like the first one, you'll probably like this one. It was all right. I really don't know if I want to see if there's any need for another one. Also, really disappointed this movie didn't call itself "Now You Don't." Like, now you see me, now you don't. That was a disappointment. Apparently, that was originally one of the titles for the movie. Why the hell did they not call it that? That really disappoints me. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't know if I would say maybe it's a rental. It's a decent movie. It's nothing. It's harmless. It's a brainless popcorn flick like the first one. That's about as much as I can say about it. Um, as far as trailers go, yikes! I didn't get much new trailers last night. I got a lot of trailers I've seen before. Deepwater Horizon. Oh God. Okay, I might get some shit for this, but this is a movie about the BP oil spill, and this movie is about the people that were on board the um, the oil tanker, the oil driller, in the middle of the ocean when it exploded, and like how they survived. And I'm sitting there like, really? They're making these people like they're the heroes when basically, I mean, I know it's not their fault for what happened, but what the fuck? Like, they're making them the heroes? What the hell? A really horrible natural disaster that happened. And this is what you're going to make your movie based off of, is these people? I mean, I know they're innocent people again, but I was like, I don't know. It's from the guy who made Lone Survivor, Peter Berg. He did Lone Survivor. He also has done like Friday Night Lights, the movie, and stuff like that. He also worked on the TV show too. I like Peter Berg enough. He also did Battleship, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. But I don't know. It has Mark Wahlberg. I think Kate Hudson or something like that is in this. I swear Rihanna's in there too. What the hell? Also, I got a new trailer for the BFG. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I also got like a behind the scenes featurette in front of like my movie theaters playing a behind the scenes featurette of BFG in front of every movie now, and like it looks like Steven Spielberg trying to make another, like, he's good when he is really good, when he is on his mark. He's really awesome as a director. But when he like makes a bad movie, he can make like he's made Indiana Jones. I like Steven Spielberg though. I really do. He's one of the most influential directors out there. Like you know, anybody who's wants to go into directing, he's probably a lot of people's inspirations. Um, and like it looks harmless. Like I said, you know, I didn't read the book. I mean, I know of Roald Dahl's like you know books and you know the BFG. I know what I've heard of the BFG, and like Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, what it originally was called. But yeah, I like. It looks like a pretty decent movie. I'm still blown away by the motion capture they did on Mark Rylance. That giant looks like Mark Rylance. That is pretty cool. I really give that movie credit. They made that giant look a lot like Mark Rylance. That was pretty cool. So I'll be definitely seeing that when that comes out. But that's as far as trailers go. I'll be back here in a few seconds with my other review.